you going, Brian?
Yeah, when I pulled in, he said, Pat's got the show today. I'm like, no, I think Brian does.
No. Pat's got it next week.
But to be fair, I only knew that because I was going to Pigeon Forge.
Yeah,
for a couple days.
Yeah, same time. I know.
I saw Patty Ice's car, and I'm like, okay, it must be Pat today.
Yeah. Actually, Pat did a lot of work this weekend with NASCAR and stuff, and he was on Drew, kind of telling some stuff about it. So, yeah, I mean, Pat's doing his thing, man.
Here's the thing.
Okay.
You're talking about Monday. You're talking about this week. Let's just do this.
Okay.
8150 93.9 is the number.
We haven't really got to talk this weekend. This is one of those weekends.
Right.
I always like to give that disclaimer that we really didn't talk that much this weekend. So I don't know. When you breathe like that and you say 8150, I'm like, I have no idea. And I like it that way.
Here's the thing. We start our weeks off and we're excited. Why are we excited, Steve? Because the content that's over the weekend is usually built up.
Sure.
Steve, sometimes, I say things, just for dry humor and comedic effect.
Absolutely.
Sometimes those who don't watch us on the YouTube channel, which I don't know why people wouldn't, but people who watch on the YouTube channel can usually see the comic effect of the dry humor.
Absolutely. I feel that way. Sometimes
it's just audio humor. Sometimes people say, you remember a guy came up to me and, said establishment and, oh man, you're Mr. Conspiracy Theory guy. I'm going to bring you some tinfoil.
Yeah. That happened?
Yeah, it actually happened.
That's pretty funny.
And he actually brought the tinfoil. He actually bought tinfoil, which turned out being great because I brought it to the office. So it
probably still use it.
Right. Okay, so point being, the conspiracy theory guy joke looms over my head. Although, if you're right 50% of the time with your conspiracy theories, that's a good number. That's a good situation where you say, hey, people, watch out for this thing because something stinks here. Or watch out for, you think everything has an angle.
Mm-hmm.
Steve, do you remember a couple of years back when our rival school and their athletic director didn't like their tournament seating?
Mm-hmm.
And we laughed because we got it. We know what it's like to not like your tournament seating, right?
Right.
But at the same time, in the rivalry aspect of it, we were like, dude, come on. You're not, listen, if anybody's getting hosed on tournament seating, it's not you. I actually remember you calling out the seating like, this is who you're going to have to play here. And this is who you're going to have to play here.
Yeah.
And was that the famous, we feel sorry for them because they got to play us Calipari year?
Probably. I mean, there was a couple.
Right.
Yeah.
But around the same time, around the same period, right? And we were like, wow, that AD is pretty boisterous about his displeasure with the seating of the NCAA selection committee.
Right.
And I thought it was odd, right?
Yeah.
And then you remember what happened the next year after said complaint, Steve?
They got a really favorable.
The AD was now on the selection committee the next year.
Right.
After he complained about his seating, right?
Yeah.
And I said, well, that's not really a good look.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And I sat here and I said, hey, everybody, I don't really know, but hey, listen, business is business. It's all good. But, you complain about the selection committee and then you end up on the selection committee the very next year.
Yeah.
That's pretty strong. Right?
Sure.
Steve, can you explain to people what a Friday news dump is? Just one more time, Steve. Tell the people what we call a Friday news dump.
Well, this is it's interesting that you say that. I'm trying to find the exact.
Describe before you even go to the Friday news dump, describe what a Friday news dump is, because we picked up listeners over the weekend. People who have said,
yeah,
you have a show? Yeah, I have a show. We have at least 20 new listeners I know today who haven't heard us explain the Friday news dump?
Well, for a news dump is basically on a Friday. It's the weekend, so your shows, for the most part, aren't coming back on until Monday. So
Right.
there's going to be 2 days in between. Like I said a minute ago, just 2 hours short of 3 full days.
Right.
Yeah, since we've last talked to
Right.
you.
Almost 70 hours removed from good weekly radio.
So you say well, let's put this out now, and by the time it gets talked about, it's 3-day-old news.
Yes, listen, you have Federer, Djokovic going on, you have Serena going on, somebody will do something stupid and get arrested, and some other guy will do something. By Monday morning, this won't even register
Right.
on the Richter scale of sports. See,
Yes.
that's what's said.
That's what said news dump is.
So, when I told you people, you complain about the tournament selection and then next year you're on the selection committee, that was a powerful move. Steve, is there any move that could have been made that looked even more powerful and more suspect? Anything? Can you name a move that could have been made to raise your eyebrow anymore?
Well, I do find it funny that in the year, or it says that that now that Louisville has got it rolling.
See, I wasn't even going to tie them together.
Yeah.
I was speaking from a national perspective. Okay, you take the Louisville perspective, and I'll leave it national, so
But-
I won't be that guy.
It says Kentucky's Mitch Barnhart
I know that name.
has been named chair of the Division I men's basketball committee for the 2021 season per the NCAA.
Mitch Barnhart will be the chair of the NCAA tournament selection committee. Right? And listen, here's my thing, people. National perspective. You don't think that's a story, people? You don't think that a new chair of the tournament, what do we say in sports? Best time of the year, biggest event of the year. People,
March Madness, yeah.
everybody says March Madness. You having a change in the leadership at the head of the tournament selection committee for what's we nationally recognized outside of Super Bowl Sunday.
By the way, 1920 and 2021. So
That's what I
this
thought.
season. Yeah.
That's what I thought, Steve.
Yeah.
You toned me down by saying 2021,
Yeah.
and I was going to challenge you during the commercial break. So this year, Steve, the Kentucky AD, and again, step outside of rivalry, people, because I won't even play the game right now. I'll just say it's a story. It's not a Friday, announce it at 12:15 story. I should not be driving home at 12:30, picking up fruit from the Kroger, so I won't eat myself to death this weekend. Like, I should not be hearing a breaking story about a change in the leadership of the tournament selection committee, not to mention being a boisterous AD on their displeasure with said tournament committee.
Yeah.
It's a story.
It is. It is.
That's it. It's a story.
It is.
And anything that gets put out that's a big story and it happens on Friday after 12 o'clock, Dina would say after 10 o'clock. I would say after 12 o'clock. If it comes out on Friday after 12 o'clock, it stinks.
But let me tell you my response to this. Why, stupid ball, why I don't, why I wasn't as up in arms as you were.
Listen, I get it.
The reason I'm not is because I don't care right now.
I keep going
I don't care right now.
because I like this feeling.
Whatsoever. I don't care if you're in the tournament committee and you want to give us a 16. Louisville has the best team in America next year. And the year after are going to be just as good. I don't care. Put me wherever you want to put me. You know where they're not
Do
going to
you
be?
really feel like that?
Yes. Texter hits it right on the head. We won't be in Kentucky's bracket. I can guarantee you that. You don't want that smoke.
You don't want to put your Kentucky team anywhere near
You don't
Louisville
want to
this
be
year.
in the committee chair position. Louisville tap. It's so stupid. Well, they're not going to be as good as they think. So
That was pretty cold.
I don't care. They're not. I'll die on that hill. They're not going to be as good as they think. So you're going to be somewhere in that range. You're going to come through. You do not want to be the chairman when Chris Mack sends you home because you matched them up together. So you got the position at the time where you're kind of helpless. I don't care. What are you going to do? Okay, go ahead. Give Kentucky 2 seats higher than what they deserve. It's fine.
So you're not worried about feeling like you got a bracket of death attitude?
No. Go ahead. Because God forbid if we get out of it, now what are you going to do? Now you've got a Final Four and Louisville's done knocked out 3 of the 5 favorites or 2 of the 5 favorites already in their bracket. No. I'm not scared of anybody this year. Like, I don't care. And here's the thing. I'm not saying I don't care like you shouldn't be saying this is a story.
Yeah, I'm taking the
fact.
Yeah, I'm taking the national perspective on this.
And that's 100%
Because if
right.
I'm Duke or if I'm North Carolina or if I'm, Indiana, if I'm Kansas, right? Mm-hmm. Come seeding time, anybody, any ACC, the Auburns, the people who are trying to kind of crack Kentucky's shell. If I'm any of those people, I'm like, well, that's an interesting story.
Dude, you're 100% right. 100% right on that. So I just didn't want to come off like I'm saying, I don't care. You shouldn't even be talking about this.
Yeah.
That's 100% a story. But from the Louisville, how good does it feel now to be like, I don't care? Well, hey, if y'all end up being a 1, put us as your 16. I don't care. Take your game 1. Hey,
I don't know, Steve.
And then look at me. We're the 1 seed now. we're the captains now.
Listen, we almost nibbled on that subject a little bit.
I know.
But like I said, national perspective, I didn't like the news dumping.
Sure. And I agree with you on that.
And again, I can be argued, and listen, I can get on the national show. I can get on Bob Valvano, and he can tell me that, Marcus, you're reading too much into it. It's a position. He like you said, the first comment you made, he knows the basketball landscape, right? And you remember that's when I was calm about that part. I'm not going conspiracy theory per se.
Yeah.
But I listen. I know Bob is going to tell me, dude, he's a chairman. He's not going to set the entire bracket himself to secretly
there
map it.
are checks and balances.
Yeah,
Right.
So
Sure.
I do know that. But again, I said it to you. I've been saying it to you for 4 years straight. It's still powerful to have a voice. And your voice is like I said, when you bring in people who don't know this and don't know that, and then he's a guy who's been feet in the mud, in the trenches on this conversation
Absolutely.
for the last 15 years, 20 years.
Yeah.
Right? And then when he says, oh, yeah, that school is, they're down there, just somebody so personally basketball invested.
Yeah. And the nightmare is they get matched up in brackets and like the 1 seed goes out and they draw Kansas State in the Sweet 16. a team like that, or that the 1 seed gets knocked out and they draw an Auburn, and then an Auburn's best player gets hurt the game before. Like, you feel like that he's going to set it up for them to have perfect ways, or they draw like a UConn, for instance, who really has nobody and
got beat by Louisville.
yeah, or a West Virginia, and you only have 4 All-Stars, future NBA All-Stars on the team, and you get a West Virginia team, who's coached by Bob Huggins. Like, that's the nightmare that he sets those up for you.
It's really hard to win, Steve.
Yeah.
It's really, really hard to win.
It's also hard to lose in that manner that many times.
With that level of
with
talent.
that level of talent. So, again.
Speaking of level of talent real quick, did you see that my you are a comment section guy, right? When you see posts. You like to go deep into the comments. Now, see, I don't. They're really saying something for debate's sake, right?
Yeah.
Did you see that picture? Okay. For people who saw the post this weekend, it was I was watching Louisville, like Wake Forest or something, right?
Yeah.
And the stat popped up that over the last 5 years, that was during the season, over the last 5 years, Louisville has had draft picks and 5 straight years in basketball and football, and just some good stats about Louisville's, about their run.
Yeah.
Right? It was just listen, it wasn't a shot at anybody. It was and then what did I put? People don't realize Louisville is a monster program. Mm-hmm. Just sometimes you got to remind yourself that it's a monster program.
Yeah.
The biting that took place off those posts, like, oh yeah, well, how many guys got drafted last year? And I'm like I literally can feel the energy because I can see the misspellings and I can see the punctuation, not on purpose. Like me, I like to do ... like, but I can feel the energy from the post of saying, well, last year, who got drafted off that team? And I'm like,
yeah,
my post was about the last 5 years of getting draft picks in football and basketball. Why? Like, what about that post angered you?
Well, yeah, but I think a lot of times I almost apologize to you for your comments section, because when I get on here and say some of the things I say, I think you take the brunt of it a lot of times. because at the end of the day, I'm just Steve Rummage.
I'm just one man.
I'm just one man. Hey, look, Steve Rummage. I love the Cardinals. Look, I walked on, played some football here. They never really played. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you can. Steve, you're an idiot.
Right?
Yeah. All right. Cool. You got to eat it a little more. Like, you're Marcus Maben. You know what I mean? Like, you're a top 200 player here all time. Like.
He said 200.
Like, you have to,
but here's the thing. This is coming fresh off of, like, I say it to people that I respect to the story.
This weekend, December 28th.
Are you a pre-Christmas guy or post-Christmas guy?
This year, I don't care. I actually wish it was pre-Christmas.
You don't care about anything.
They are going to work them this year. Like, I don't care. I wish it was December 24th, so I could just Vince McMahon into Christmas morning with my family.
You're not gonna be able to do that.
Oh yeah.
I can tell.
Dude.
I can tell there's starting to be more stress and strain in the rivalry in your family.
Yes, because like they
See,
know.
And I hate that too. I hate that because here's the thing: you wait 6 years to get the hammer and not be the nail, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, well, I cheer for both teams. I like Mac too, right? That's what it turns into.
I went to the office with Marcus, and Mac said he didn't like you in particular. I explained you, and he said he hates those type of people.
Oh.
So, yeah, it's you.
Listen, I am really, really surprised about your lack of what could go wrong
I'm
right now.
stupid.
Like
Yeah.
your spirit on the.
Listen, I called you again this weekend, dude. The only conversation we had, I watched more film. And the more I watch and the more I see it, the more I'm just like, this is the best team in the country.
And I go here's the thing. I have been going the exact opposite direction.
Right?
I saw some things that almost ensure that this is going to be a team that does not achieve its goals.
Okay.
And it was heartbreaking. And I'll tell you about it after the commercial break. Quick commercial break, middays with Marcus Maben, 8150. 93.9 is the number on 939 The Ville.
You know, anyone can deliver a box of groceries. Check out while you're chillin'. Shop online with the Kroger app or at Kroger.com today.
Cards fans, it's an exciting time to support your teams. With all that excitement, celebrate with beer made right here in Louisville. Great Flood Brewing has long supported U of L, and we can't wait to see what the future holds. Visit the Great Flood Tap Room on Bardstown Road to see all that we have to offer. As always, visit us at greatfloodbrewing.com and follow our story at Great Flood Beer on social media. Thanks to 93.9 for being the best dang station in the city, but you knew that already. Go Cards.
I said Great Flood like 5 times. Think I got it?
Are you ready to sell your home? Well, there couldn't be a better time. Houses are going for top dollar and selling quickly. You need to call Jill Blessinger with Keller Williams. She has a team of professionals that will help you sell your home quickly and get the most for it. She is a professional home stager and photographer. And when you're ready to buy, she works with Becky Bleemel of Caliber Home Loans. She makes the loan process very simple. And if you mention you heard this on Middays with Marcus Maben or ESPN, your appraisal is absolutely free. So give Jill a call today at 502-773-0546. That's 502-773-0546. And let her help you today.
Great Flood has big news for Cards fans. We are starting a limited can series of new beer called Warehouse Select, only available at our Bardstown Road tap room. On top of that, Great Flood beer is now available at Kroger. It's a huge step for us as Louisville natives, and we are thrilled to have made the journey right here at home with you. As always, visit us at greatfloodbrewing.com and follow our story at Great Flood Beer on social media. Go Cards.
That's probably enough. I will literally do this until 3 o'clock.
At the DFH Company, they know you got lucky last summer. You limped your AC unit to the finish line, but now it's time to face reality. You need a new system, so it's time to call DFH. Buy a complete Trane system and get one of the following: either 12-month special financing, a free humidifier, a Wi-Fi controlled thermostat, or an air cleaner. It's hard to stop a Trane, so call DFH at 968-6222 or look them up online at dfhcompany.com. Subject to credit approval, visit dfhcompany.com for complete details.
With UPS, future you graduates from Metro College with zero debt. How? As a package handler, you'll have a great job while you attend Metro College, and 100% of your tuition will be covered. Future you goes further than you imagine. Find out what you'll become at UPS.
We are ESPN Louisville, your home for the college football playoff, NFL, the Final Four, and best sports talk. Download the ESPN Louisville app today. Delivered by UPS Jobs Kentucky.
Hey, this is Steve Rummage, and I have one question for you. What good is having that beautiful home with that beautiful view if you can't see through the grit and grime of your windows? Or every time you try to open them, it feels like an extensive workout. Let's face it, you and your home deserve better. That's why I'm here to tell you about Windows Plus. They have the best free lifetime transferable warranty, best installation in town, quality products, doors, windows, siding, and gutters. They've also been voted most efficient in 2019 and have an A+ Better Business Bureau rating, including all 5-star reviews, which means they're exactly what you've been looking for. So go visit them at 11501 Plantside Drive in Louisville, Kentucky, or call 502-494-0120. 20. Again, that's Windows Plus, so make the call.
Hi, this is Scott Davenport. I'm the head basketball coach at Bellarmine University, and I want to invite you to join me every Monday night from 7 to 8 p.m. on 93.9 The Ville, talking sports. All sports, all levels. Football, basketball, baseball, thoroughbred racing, golf, you name it, everything's on the table. This show is about you and your opinion. I may not agree with it, but I will respect it.
Monday evenings from 7 to 8 on 93.9 The Ville.
It's a new era of Louisville football as the Cards get ready for their first season under Scott Satterfield, and ESPN Louisville will be there every step of the way. Join Mark Innes and Mark Blankenbaker as we broadcast live on July 17th and 18th from the 2019 ACC kickoff in Charlotte. We'll bring you the biggest names in the ACC and get you ready for another season of Cards football. Coverage of the ACC kickoff is presented by Class Act Federal Credit Union, UPS Jobs, and University of Louisville Online Learning.
This is Drew Diener, and you're listening to 93.9 The Ville, live from the OPC Services Studio.
Middays with Marcus Maben on 93.9 The Ville is broadcasting live from the OPC Pest Services Studio. Now, here's Marcus Maben and Steve Rummage.
Welcome back. It's Midday with Marcus Maben, 8150. 93.9 is the number. 93.9 is the station. People, I haven't talked to him as of late, but I'm sure Danny Mosby, Jamon Brown, and the Jamon Brown Foundation, I'm sure it looked as if I'm just going on social media, it looked like the events this weekend were a huge success. I'm sure he would want me to thank everybody publicly on the air. Like I said, I haven't talked to him as of yet, but I'd be hugely surprised if he said everything sucked. But point being, shout out, wanted to do that coming back from the break. We opened the show talking a little bit about the Friday news dump that was the Mitch Barnhart is now the chair of the NCAA Tournament Selection Committee. During the commercial break, I have to kind of do an inventory and ask Steve, while the jokes are the jokes, I wanted to be sure that we weren't just saying conspiracy ha-ha without saying it's a story. And again, I had to remind myself that NCAA football is not like they don't have control over the quote-unquote tournament. That's kind of outsourced to bowls, and they take the bowls and determine, the champion off of that. But as far as hands-on deciding championships, we have to say that basketball is the number one, NCAA hands-on activity in all of sports, all of college sports. And again, biggest revenue generator, NCAA tournament. So at the very least, Cardinal fan, Kentucky fan, Kansas fan, Duke fan, Carolina fan, Arizona fan, you have to admit that it's a bigger story than it got coverage for. Period. Now, Steve, going into break, does not feel like anything can affect his team. He's riding on this high horse of cloud nine. Now, everybody knows when you're facing a difficult game, right? Mm-hmm. We start off with the it's going to be tough, but maybe guys can get it together, and then we kind of we already know the ways you can lose to a Notre Dame. You already know the ways you can lose when you lose talented players.
Yep.
We know that. Like, I know this year I don't have this guy from last year. Like, we do that all the time.
100%.
So when you work backwards. Yep. When it's a tough one, you acknowledge the tough parts, and then you start figuring out the stuff that can work.
Right.
When you have games that you're supposed to win, or you have seasons that are supposed to be great, you work backwards.
Yes.
How can y'all mess this up for me?
Yeah.
Steve, while you're just dancing and prancing around,
yeah,
I'm only thinking about how you guys can mess this up for me right now.
Right.
I'm telling you, Steve, when I look at an awesome event like Forecastle.
Okay.
And I see my basketball players down there, shirts off, smiling, singing, posing for pictures with the entertainers. I'm freaking out.
Yeah.
Why are you not in the gym? Why are you smiling so much?
Yeah.
Why are you having a good time? What is that in your hand? Do you know that stage is unsafe? Everybody, they're gonna, somebody's gonna start a fight with you. I'm turning into that guy. You can't have fun. I was even explaining this to somebody, this weekend when they were like, why don't you want them to have fun? I said, listen, ask Luke. They have 6 months and an opportunity that will literally change the perception of these 15 young men for the rest of your lives.
Yeah.
By being on a national championship team. The reverence in sports and the opportunity, Steve, it doesn't come for people.
No, you're right.
The reason I brought up that post this weekend and somebody biting at me on the jokes about, well, who got drafted? Part of me wanted to say, well, yeah, because my draft pick came back to school.
Yeah.
Voluntarily.
Right.
My professional basketball center decided to come back to school. I'll gladly take your you didn't get anybody drafted to be the number 5 preseason team in the country.
I know.
Right?
I know.
So that's where I'm at with all this. And then when I watch these guys having so much fun, back to the point, you have 6 months to change your life. Stop having fun. Stop having fun. There will be no fun for the next 6 months of your life.
Yeah, well, here's the problem.
What did you think when you saw all the videos?
Here's the thing. While on one hand, I do get a little tighter when the team's so good, also you think, yeah, but when I hear some people, and not necessarily you, some people say, what are they out doing all that for? I'm like, yeah, but do you know that they had a practice earlier? And then after the practice, they not with the coach, they individually went and worked out and put in another 2 hours.
Right.
That, you know what, if they want to go indulge in a little bit of apparently a Nelly concert.
Yeah,
then enjoy.
No, see, that's what I'm saying.
Have a good time.
Like, I know at the end of the day.
And these guys they kind of are embracing being stars.
Yes.
Like,
they just got here. This has been their first chance to even be. This is why you came to Louisville.
Yeah.
It's not like you're doing this every day of your life either. So, while I'm saying this with all this emotion, at the end of the day, you just sit back and laugh and you're like, you young punks, go have fun.
I know.
Right?
And again, like I said, they're really eating it up.
And they're recruiting. Look at Josh, Aiden, and Sam. Look, 3 months ago, I was kicking it with them at the blah, blah, blah.
Sure.
Whatever tournament they at, whatever high school AAU tournament they at. Their Instagram from this weekend, you realize realize when Matt tweeted out the passing pool picture.
Yeah.
Video.
Yep.
For those who don't know, the trick shot where everybody choreographs a pool, a slam dunk in the pool.
Yes.
One guy goes down the slide. He passes to the guy on the trampoline. The guy comes to the trampoline. The guys, they do one of those trick shots. And Max says, well, we've been working on our passing a little bit. It's not quite what I had in mind, And it finishes. Who finishes it at the end?
Aiden. Yeah. Yeah, of course.
So Aiden finishes this with a dunk. It's being retweeted by SportsCenter. Mac is being retweeted by SportsCenter.
Yeah.
Off of having a pool party fun dunk.
I know. And it was awesome. Like when you see David, and then all the guys are kind of commenting because apparently, see, David throws the first long pass.
Is that David?
Yeah.
Okay.
He throws the first long one. Then you got in the middle. You got
Jalen was the recipient.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then with Sam hits the behind the back.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I'm skipping a few.
Okay.
You know?
Zielinski's on the slide. I think.
They come down the slide. They toss it up, and then Aiden punches it.
Right.
Like it was awesome, dude. And now Sports Center picks it up. I mean,
just this weekend of just pure Instagram.
By the way,
video.
that was Mac's house. Like, you think he's loving the Louisville job? Good God.
Right?
I know.
You mean that estate?
Yeah. It's like,
so
Christy Mack's like, hey, you better not ever get fired. Like, you better figure out a way to win. You think we're tough on him?
Right.
His kids are like, if you get fired, we'll move out.
Dad,
I'll go move with grandma.
I don't even know where.
I don't want to see your stupid face if you get fired and we get kicked out of this house.
You know what? Actually, his son is the only one that'll stick with Dad.
Yeah, maybe.
I can tell his son they'll be sitting on the curb together after you get fired.
Yeah.
And son is like, well, Dad, it was fun.
Yeah. His son will be
Thanks, son.
His son will be like, well, I kind of like McNeese Steak. I bet you do, son.
Right.
Yeah. No, yeah.
Yeah, the son is just here for the ride.
yeah.
Everybody else knows what Xavier life is like.
Yeah. Which I'm sure was nice. I like Cincy.
Right.
Yeah. I actually like the town. Yeah.
Yeah, but even listening to Coach Pegues talk about upgraded lifestyle. But
that neighborhood looked stupid.
Right. Point being, these guys are having a good old time.
Yes.
So here's where it gets a little interesting, people. And here's what Steve and myself are always chomping at the bit. Now, listen, coming from somebody else, it would anger me.
Mm-hmm.
This narrative would anger me had anybody else said it. But we're a family here, right?
Okay.
We're a legitimate family.
We are.
And we have to check ourselves and our family. We have to break up fights before they start, and we have to acknowledge them.
By the way, somebody wanted you to stop with that.
What part? Yeah, I saw stop, but I didn't know which part. I've been on a roll. So, meanwhile, while all this stuff is going on, the Instagram looking partying, right?
Yeah.
And
I'm from Bullitt County. Don't insult me with words I don't understand.
And the pool party kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
All this stuff is going on. Who's not in those pictures, Steve? Because you said it.
Well, now the pool party again was freshmen, so let's say that it was a freshman pool party. Okay. So they was just the freshmen there.
Okay.
But even the Forecastle weekend,
even the Forecastle,
there was still two guys. There was one guy in the video that they posted yesterday. The video of practice.
Yep.
You know what I'm talking about, Brian? The video of practice.
Yeah, I know too, Steve.
That I said, oh, okay.
like Brian's the only one that saw the video.
Sometimes I just want to talk to Brian.
Okay,
He sits back there working his butt off. I mean, at least I want to be like, hey, Brian.
Yeah, we made eye contact.
I would
It's
like
just
to.
like, hey,
I would like to.
I'm just acknowledging that you're still here. I got it.
Brian. Yeah.
Okay, fine.
Dwayne, I almost called you and was like, dude, is he even on the team? And then I did see a little 24. I was like, oh my God. I was actually getting a little nervous. I'm like, what's going on?
Okay.
But I talked about it last week about Dwayne and Malik. They're not really involved in a lot of these videos. They're not really in the background of a lot of these videos.
Right, even in the background.
So, which means they're not really hanging around,
So Malik had a little post.
Sure.
Outworking the competition was one.
Okay. I didn't see that one.
Yes.
I like
Malik Williams.
I like that.
Outworking the competition.
Who had him in the 3-on-3?
Malik is that is.
No, I got Malik Williams in the 3-on-3. Steve,
did you?
Yeah, I have Enoch and he has Malik.
Do you got
and
Sutton?
you have Aiden?
Do you got Sutton too?
You have Sutton. Steve.
I got Sutton, right?
No, you took him from me. I got David Johnson.
You have Sutton in the second round because I debated between him and Fresh.
You purposely
and
did not want me to get Sutton.
That's right.
So,
I took Sutton because I knew you were going to take him.
That's a fact.
That's right. Yeah. But that's why I keep saying I'm like these two are really like if I'm Miami, I'm scared to death of Malik and Sutton.
Okay, so
do you think the Malik statement there that you just made is kind of a backwards stab at the guys that are down there at Forecastle?
It's interesting, Ryan. What do you think?
It's an interesting.
I don't know. I'm just wondering.
No,
hey, you guys down there partying.
I want to
I'm
know
at
what
the gym working.
I want to know what you think, Brian Hall.
I think it kind of is. I think it's like an indirect way of telling the new guys, hey, go have your fun, but get back to work.
We'll take it a step further, Brian.
You want me to expand further?
No. No. Wait.
Just tell me again.
Wait right there. What if I told you, Brian, that the next tweet was a tweet of them doing the jumping around in the pool thing, and it was just hashtag Super 6. And that's it.
Malik said that?
Malik said that.
That sounds a little bitter. Where was his invite?
Listen.
Well, again, now it was a freshman pool party, I will say, but Sports Center picked it up. It was
Be Malik for a second. Be Malik. You know how serious this is for you and your life, right? We made, like I said, there's a bit of humor to this, but I just want you to be a junior who's been through what Malik has been through. You know, who, like I said, who by all means probably shouldn't, skill set wise, he probably shouldn't have been starting over Enoch, right?
Right.
Is there a reason that only the freshmen were invited, though?
Well, that's just welcome.
Just a welcome to the campus.
Well, he probably had also.
No, you have a home here.
Well, he probably also had, because I think the freshmen, you always, especially if you have a big class. How many was in your
orientation?
class?
I had about 5 at least.
Did Coach Crum ever have you guys like? You kind of have a separate.
Yeah, I think everybody came.
Eat the wife's cooking.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
It's like, let's have him over, show how big of a house I got, let him know I'm the authority here, and just everything like that.
But you're right.
The thing is, a lot of times the OGs don't even come to that because they've been there twice.
That's true.
Like I was here when he did it when we first got here. I know where his house is.
You know how much on the line here we have? This house, okay?
Right.
This house is on the line.
Right. Look, this is what you can achieve if you listen to everything I say. But my point being, think about if you're Malik. Now, we did this last week.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, I know what it's like because I was a junior and watched the freshmen come in. And while the freshmen are learning to enjoy life of being a basketball player, it's getting me angrier. And everything makes you angry when you really want to win. Everything that's not basketball related makes you entirely angry. So, of course, we're psychoanalyzing just a simple comment that could be absolutely nothing. But over a course of a summer, and you don't see Sutton, if you see Sutton in 4% of the pictures and 4% of the videos, these are teammates, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Y'all live next door to each other. You know, you practice every day together, and you don't see a Malik. And you know Malik's not antisocial. He's not an antisocial guy, so it's not like, oh, he's just a, hermit, empath,
Right.
Like, so when you see that and you see it's you can interpret these things some kind of way. And being the junior guy, I'm sure it would agitate me to see freshmen that I'm going to depend on splashing around in the swimming pool at Coach's house. Mm-hmm. Even though it should. Just like me in my mouth, I can't stop it. So I should not be saying this. And we're going to talk about it, and I'm going to clear it up with this guy later on.
Okay. I like that.
Right? But this is radio life. Sometimes I got to drag people into the mud with me.
Yes. Am I wait a minute, am I getting drug into the mud?
No.
Okay.
This isn't deep mud. This is just kind of thick, mess up your shoes mud.
Okay. Well, I just bought some brand new Ultra Boost from Simpsonville last night, so let's not do that.
I had okay. We lost a tournament game. Insert joke here, Steve. We lost a tournament game, right? We were in a place where there were some things to do around the area.
I believe this is a cult hero story or a this is one of those stories that everybody always assumed happened, but
No. Here's the thing. We lost this tournament game, and we were going to be down there in Florida
yeah.
for 2 days before we
Oh no, this wasn't the story.
actually we're headed home. A teammate of mine says, "Man, we might as well get out and do something. I mean, we're down here."
It's a good call.
The sports gods are the only thing that stopped me from ripping his throat out at that moment.
Y'all had already lost?
We had already lost. I feel you.
Yeah.
And in hindsight, he was probably right.
What year were you?
Sophomore or junior.
Okay.
Yep. And I had to be a sophomore.
Okay.
Yep. I had to be a sophomore because I knew he had another year too.
Yeah.
Tony Williams. Tony, you don't know how close you came to certain violent death on that bus. And I'll be the first to admit, you were right. And you know what else I noticed about Tony? Him being able to compartmentalize is why Tony never went into slumps.
Right.
Because he could shake off a bad day. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
He didn't go into slumps because he could shake it off. I can't. I could, 5 games I'll slump. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And to his one. Boy, he said that. I was like, we just lost to Creighton, and this tournament brochure.
Who's best player on that Creighton team?
Your boy, about 15 years in the league.
Yeah.
Rodney Buford. No, not Rodney Buford. Rodney. Who's that guy? He went first round, went top 20. I think.
Yeah. No, the reason I'm asking, that wasn't an insult. I really was like, they had somebody.
Yeah.
And who wasn't?
Yeah, they had a guy who didn't belong at Creighton.
Right.
Probably 2.
Yeah.
But point being, look up Rodney Buford. Brian Hall, look up Rodney Buford.
Rodney Buford.
Rodney Buford. And if it says Creighton, just nod your head. Waiting. Come on. The suspense is killing me.
We will wait.
It is Creighton. Okay. He gets hot late. We're going home. Right?
Yeah.
And I was especially mad because I was going to get a chance to take out Steve Francis in round 2. And I was gone, y'all.
Steve Francis, and you're in the lead.
Listen.
He was the 53rd pick in the
Jesus
99
Christ.
draft. Buford.
I was wrong then. The tournament magazine, Steve, said the best matchup of this tournament may be Marcus Maben against Steve Francis in the second round.
It's gonna be nasty.
It's gonna be nasty.
Oh man.
The thing said he gets more. These two get more airtime than Tony Robbins. You know who Tony Robbins is?
Oh yeah.
That's what the tournament brochure said. Steve, I wanted to kill. I wanted to kill myself. I wanted to kill my teammates. I wanted to kill Coach Crum. Everybody.
Yeah.
I was so disappointed in myself too, right? But my point being, that is what the life like. Brian, play us out before I have an emotional breakdown.
Can we get Lawrence? Lawrence been waiting for 19 minutes.
Sorry about that. Lawrence, before we get out of here, sorry about that, man. I was having an emotional breakdown. Thanks for joining us on 93.9. Fire away, my man.
You know, that whole time I was watching that little highlight thing from ESPN with the Louisville players, the thing that went through my mind is nobody get hurt.
Right.
Because when he jumped out there, jumped on, made that dunk, I said, please don't hurt your arm. Please don't land on somebody. Like, oh man, those practices is gonna be a tense now because they'll put veterans see that. They gonna make sure y'all ain't gonna y'all don't come here acting like y'all don't care. Okay, we gonna show you what's up now.
No, Lawrence, I appreciate that call. That's a fact.
Yeah.
You did think that for 1 second when you saw Aiden jump off because he jumped about 8 feet from the side to dunk it.
Absolutely.
And you were really close to the edge of that pool.
Yeah, but to be fair, he's almost 7 foot. So if you jump 8 feet, Like I reach a foot.
He used his athleticism on that dunk.
He got a he kind of did the
Steve,
side.
it was a dangerous play.
Okay, it was. Whatever.
Was that wrong what I did to throw Tony under the bus?
No, it's fair. It's fair. I mean,
and he knows I'm telling the truth. Like
I don't know. I mean, you're both. We both got another year.
And no,
let's go.
No,
let's go. Chill.
We didn't have another year. Me and LaVelle Boyd were on the 2-year plan.
Yeah.
22 years later, I'm sitting here with you.
Sitting here with me.
The 22-year plan.
Oh, man.
Middays with Marcus Baben. As always, 8150-939 is the number. 31. It's always the text line. We are Made for the Ville is the YouTube channel. Made for the Ville is the YouTube channel. 939 the Ville.
Awesome Piney Brothers, Paul's Fruit Market, or on Amazon. Focus, PHOCUS. Try it today.
Kentucky Winter Circle Radio, founded by Louisville native E.J. Clark, will soon make its return. Beginning in August, catch the city's longest-running horse racing show every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. only on 93.9 The Ville and the ESPN Louisville app. The Kentucky Winter Circle returns with updates from Ellis Park and Kentucky Downs, and will get you ready for the Breeders' Cup. We're proud to have the Kentucky Winter Circle join the ESPN Louisville family, coming in August and only on 93.9 The Ville.
This is Marcus Maven, and you're listening to 93.9 The Ville from the OPC Services Studio.
Middays with Marcus Maben on 93.9 The Ville is broadcasting live from the OPC Pest Services Studio. Now, here's Marcus Maben and Steve Rummage.
Welcome back. It's Midday with Marcus Maben. 8150 93.9 is the number. 939 is the station. This is not the cow. Ooh.
Team player.
Is he gonna take a discount?
He's gonna take one for the team. Dak Prescott's gonna take one for the team.
I believe you. Speaking of taking one for the team, Steve.
Yeah.
Got a little question for you.
Okay.
First a comment, then a question.
Okay.
Nice shoes.
Thank you. They're Ultra Boost.
Oh yeah, where'd you get them?
I got them from the Simpsonville Adidas outlet. My guy John.
Really?
Yeah.
You went out to the Simpsonville Adidas outlet.
Mm-hmm. They had 13s.
You did that right. I've kind of figured that.
A lot.
So Steve, you remember like those times where you said you were looking for shoes and looking for Adidas deals, and like when I was in stores or something, I said, hey, I'm going by the store. You want me to let you look for something or see if you got something? And you said, yeah, Marcus. And then I went to the stores and I took pictures of the shoes and, hey, you like these? They're available here at this price and that price and things like that, right?
Yeah.
So I'm scrolling yesterday and I see a mass trip to the Adidas outlet.
Yeah. Ethan Moore was there.
And had not heard one thing.
I rep Louisville.
From you or anybody else.
Yeah. Yeah. How many pairs of shoes have you bought me?
We're not even talking about buying.
Oh, so now
we're talking about
even
putting me on
Smokey.
alert.
Yeah, now is what well, that was different.
So Steve, you didn't think I was like a phone call for that event, like hey Marcus, you're gonna go check out the Adidas spot and
listen, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna go totally rogue on this, and I'm gonna totally violate bro code here. You knew about it. And your response was, yeah, I'm going to need the pre deal.
I can't believe you just did that to me.
I did. So.
I can't believe you just did that to me.
Yeah.
Brian, do you know what he means when he just said that?
Have fun.
He's poo-pooing on you.
No. He just did the worst thing in bro code life that you can do.
It was terrible. And I knew it. And I acknowledged it before I did it.
And here's the thing. Because he's already jumped off the ledge, I'm going to explain what he means, people. Sometimes I'm able to network. Like people owe me a lot of favors. I got years and years of backed up favors, and I can make things happen behind the scenes. I can get people to the right places, but I never like hold people accountable to those favors. Just kind of like we can look at each other and I know you know what kind of history we got. So if there's a hookup, I expect the pre-hookup call. Mm-hmm. Okay, you have people that you would alert about a deal, and you have people that you would alert about a sweet deal before the deal goes down, right?
Yeah, there's somebody you run it by maybe before you actually do it, and then the people you tell after you do it is just friends, like close friends here before.
See, here's the problem. Steve, Did you just tell everybody that I wanted the sweet deal before the deal went public?
I did, and not only did I do that, I went. He told everybody to be there at 7. I showed up at 6:30, and kind of took advantage of what you said, and did just that.
So
I'm just letting it all.
So not only
yeah.
did you not alert me of the sweet deal or the attempted deal,
Yes,
but the sweet deal before the deal,
I
wasn't involved in.
Yeah, I actually got that deal.
This weekend, Eric Crawford put out a article on Juwan Pass.
Yeah, good article.
Now, here's the thing. We always have to take a deep breath before we talk Juwan Pass. I was bought in. I was bought into Juwan Pass, Georgia quarterback, high-level competition, Bobby Petrino, Juwan Pass, right? I even heard Drew Diener this morning make the joke, which I almost took it personal, that you think that, the offense might become more balanced without Lamar Jackson. Yes, I actually thought that without Lamar Jackson, Bobby Petrino would be forced to run the ball. So much so, Steve, when Bobby Petrino actually ran the ball, what did we say? Why aren't you running the ball more?
Yes.
It's working.
Yes.
With everybody except for one player.
Yes.
We're not going to say names.
Fair enough.
There was one running back who was basically ineffective other than one big, long run
I would agree with
against
that.
Florida State. Other than that, out of every 2 or 3 runs, you were getting big yards when you actually did it. There was potential to have a good running offense, a more balanced offense, a spread attack. Pops Fitzpatrick talked about wide receivers running too many routes, burning out the legs, run the ball, squeeze in some of your defenses, so
Sure.
you're not dealing with 5 and 6 D backs in the backfield in defensive backfield all the time.
Right.
I mean, this is simple stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The potential was there, and you saw it before they really started fully just going collapse mode.
Yeah.
And this is so funny, and this is still disclaimer territory, when people say, I knew the year Padgett coached, people that thought Patino wasn't going to have a good year, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then when they went to the NIT, you know what they said? I told you they weren't going to be that good.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, you said that before. Patino was kicked out of his office, and Jurich was ran out. And
Sure.
David Padgett was the coach. Yeah, but still, I'm just telling you, I knew this wasn't good. This was going to be an NIT team. I was right. That's how you sound to me, and this may be sour grapes for me.
Right.
Or it may be the truth. When I say you could not predict that level of breakdown,
right?
Nobody was right because they were right about the team.
Sure.
You were right because you guessed on that side of anarchy, right? So with all that being said, guessed on that side of anarchy, Little Petrino, quarterback coaching, all that stuff. We've talked about it ad nauseum. Are you confident if Juwan Pass is your starting quarterback? Now, that's the back end of it. The front end of that conversation is Eric Crawford, Juwan Pass. Listen, I didn't even know I was a leader. Repeat. Juwan Pass acknowledging, I'm paraphrasing, Juwan Pass acknowledging I didn't know I was a leader. Rewind. Juwan Pass jogs on the field, jogs off the field. We're trying to get him to move faster. We're trying to get him to show more leadership, talk louder, things like this. Even after I got benched, everybody still thought I should be the quarterback. I mean, not everybody, but this is Juwan Pass's feeling
Yeah.
from his teammates. I let myself down, let the team down, but they still wanted me to succeed more than I could do for myself. This is article stuff.
Yep.
Okay, so when you go backwards through that and say he's just realizing, because I'll be honest, part of me says, yeah, dude, you had your chance. You 5-star quarterback comes in here knowing that he's the leader of a football team. 5-star quarterback should be a advanced, because we talk about it. 5-star quarterback has a hunger and knows that everything goes through me.
Yeah.
Sometimes the humility of somebody that talented gets in their way, right? VJ King.
Yep.
You're so stupid talented, but you're humble.
Yes. Yeah. No, I agree. And you asked the question about Juwan Pass starting.
You can hear me gargling.
But that's okay, because I wanted to cut in there just for a second because you asked about Juwan Pass starting. Is that who I would be comfortable with?
Yeah, I jumped to the finish line and then try to work back.
I will be, at this point, the only thing that would make me uncomfortable would be if he's not the starter.
Elaborate.
I think that at this point, with what Satterfield wants to do, with what we've heard about the different quarterbacks coming in, with what we know, Juwan has the ability, the upside.
What are his strengths? I mean, let's just refresh. What after from recruiting to last year, if you wanted to say, because listen, we can't say big and strong. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Because when I look back over it, he sat in the pocket and looked down the barrel of a gun over and over and over and over again.
That's it. His pocket presence was as good as anybody. I mean, he will sit there.
His toughness.
Yeah. I mean, like, and that's why I agree with him. And I do back what he said there.
As far as
from talking to parents, from talking to, people that are involved on the team, I think the team wanted Juwan the whole time. Like, that's why I think sometimes it's easy for me to come on here and say things like, I think they pulled him too quick. Well, because I know the team wanted him. Okay. So, I mean, he obviously, they watched him come in. They watched him set behind. He is a massive dude. He commands a room even if he don't realize it.
See, that's what the article was about.
Yeah, absolutely. And I thought that was very, to me.
Satterfield has a basically a book study group.
Yeah.
and Juwan Pass is one of the study group leaders.
Yeah. Now look, I mean, is he going to? Am I going to try to sell you that he's going to? I don't know.
See, that's where my crossroads are getting. Because here's the thing, I don't have to be sold on him like others do, right?
Yeah.
But other people can do a good job of selling me that he's more VJ than what he's supposed to be.
I hate that I'm even going to do this. Because there's certain texts that come through, and I look back on their text, and I'm like, okay, you just text stupid stuff in to try to, like, prove your point, or I don't know. But if you legitimately think that dude didn't have pocket presence, then, well, I know you're a Kentucky fan because, for one, you haven't watched good football in years. So, okay, so yes, I understand that you may not understand what pocket presence is, but that dude had it. The dude had it. I mean, he stared down.
He was comfortable.
Yeah,
he was
he
comfortable
stepped
in the
right
pocket.
in, would take a hit and deliver a pass. Like
he delivered a lot of good passes.
I sent you a 7-minute game. Well, not the whole thing, but a 7-minute game clip of Florida State where he stood in the pocket. You had 2 drop passes. What's the crazy thing is it feels like he's more comfortable under pressure. And I think that started to happen. When he started missing throws where he would stay in the pocket and would have no pressure, that's when I really started to worry about him.
Like psychologically.
Because I said, okay, he is guy that he's so sorry. This is a worst comparison ever. But like when you're okay, like how I play ball now when I play basketball. Dude, I mean, I play in a
You're
league.
a teammate.
I don't play in between leagues hardly at all anymore.
Right.
You know, so every time you start back up, some leagues, I joke with you. Some games, or some leagues, I just feel like I'm like, dude, the game has just left me. I don't know what it is.
It's too fast for me.
Yeah, it's too fast.
Just stay healthy.
I can't play. When I don't feel well, or you feel like, or you kind of like hurting a little bit, there's no pressure to play.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So like you feel, and this is all in sports. This is why Jordan flu game. You have a game. The best game I ever had in high school, I got my eye busted open.
Mm-hmm.
And it was kind of swollen and it was bleeding and I had a Band-Aid and I couldn't see very well. After like I hit everything I shot.
But it was like, just go out there.
Because I'm like, what are you gonna? I have no pressure. Look at my face.
You're right.
I got it. If I suck for the rest of the day, I mean, God.
Right.
Him, when he would start to look down, I mean, in one possession, Florida State defensive end breaks to the line, pops pass right in the face. He makes an excellent, NFL throw across the middle of the field between two players. Throw over the defender right to Tutu Atwell, who drops the ball. I mean, perfect throw. Defender jumps up, goes right over his fingertips. Tutu's right there on the 2-yard line, drops the ball.
Then the next one gets picked.
No, the problem is in the same possession, the next two, he's wide open. Or he's not wide open, but he has no pressure.
Bigger window,
Overthrows Jalen Smith twice.
Yep.
Should have been touchdown. Well, Des Fitzpatrick once, Jalen Smith once. Perfect, right over the middle. I said, okay, I remember sitting in the box going, okay, he's mentally done.
Yeah.
Because he can't handle now not having pressure.
And everybody knows that feeling. Everybody knows the difference between throwing a pass that somebody catches and having more confidence in throwing the next pass.
Yeah.
Between I throw the pass and you drop it, now I feel like I have to make an adjustment on the way I pass. And once you start lightening your touch, in basketball, the same thing happens. If you catch my alley-oop the first time, if you go get that bad alley-oop, my next one's going to be a good alley-oop.
Sure.
But if I throw a good one, you miss it, now my next one's going to suck.
I know.
Because it doesn't get better.
Yeah.
If you miss a pass, you don't pass better.
No, and Texter's right. This texter says he sat in the pocket way too long. He has to let the ball go and make quicker decisions. I agree. He started to wait on pressure. Like he started to feel comfortable only when it was like, well, if I miss this throw, you're going to go back and look at film and be like, my God, I was getting hammered.
Not to mention, you're waiting for even more. Okay, maybe he dropped that pass because the defender was a little tighter on him. Now I'm gonna give him an extra step, extra second.
Where you were going is 100% right. Yeah, you do. You drop when you lose a little bit of confidence and stuff.
Yeah, you slow down
because from everything we've heard, the receivers never lost confidence in him. So, if that's the case,
I think one did.
Yeah, but I think he was his own.
That's the point too.
Yeah, that's he was his own.
I think coach was force feeding some plays, and I'm gonna get blamed if I don't get the ball to him.
Well, in here we'll just say it. Look, here's the thing. Jalen Smith, I think, also was a guy who let an NFL. I do now. Okay, we're losing games. And I think there was a little bit of a progression with that. And that doesn't make him a bad kid. That doesn't make him a bad player.
Yeah, just your natural athletic instinct is to say when it's not working, it's somebody else's fault.
Yeah.
That's the selfish part of every one of us.
Yeah.
Like, come on, dude, you got to make that pass clean. Like your first thought is that. Second thought is, okay, Jalen, you got to do better on getting tighter with your routes or getting more open or.
Oh, sure. So, there was obvious a little bit of I don't even want to say.
And when you go back to school, you worried about staying healthy.
Yeah. So
and I've said it. It's not a Jalen Smith specific thing. I said it about anybody who's returned to school that could have went pro.
Mm-hmm.
I said that about VJ King as he even went into college.
Yeah.
I said the biggest worry is you worry about people once they hear about the money, they start worrying about not getting hurt.
Mm-hmm.
and that's a death sentence to your sport career.
Now, look, maybe Juwan, real quick, maybe Juwan is, I don't want to say broke, but maybe Juwan is mentally something, and it just doesn't work. It doesn't work. But that article did make me believe there was some maturity there with him.
Right. Yeah, and that's the thing. I don't even want to sell maturity.
Right.
Like, I don't want to sell it. But here's the thing. If somebody says, hey, Juwan, why weren't you a good quarterback last year?
Yeah.
And he says, okay, I played really bad, Maben, but it was one of them things, after the season, we get this new coach in here.
Yep.
He's like, I was getting ready to transfer. Everybody on the team was like, nah, you're gonna be a starter again. Don't transfer.
Yeah.
So my team, the team started saying that, and then the coach came in, and it was like, right now you're the leader in the clubhouse. You know what I'm saying? And
right.
I was ready to get out of here.
Yeah.
Right. And then they voted for summer team captains. They voted for me as a captain. I'm like, why y'all voting for me?
Yeah.
It's a change in attitude.
Yeah.
That's an absolute change. I tell you what, let's reset, take a quick commercial break. Middays with Marcus Baby, 8150. 939 is the number on 939 Ville.
There comes a time in some people's lives where they wake up in the morning, look in the mirror, and say to themselves, oh my God, I'm going bald. If that's you, don't get depressed, because I have fantastic news for you. I'm Brandon Lang, best known for the movie Two for the Money, with Academy Award-winning actor Matthew McConaughey playing yours truly. When I decided to fix my baldness, I researched hundreds of doctors across the country before deciding on one of the best right here in your hometown, Parsley Waldman Hair Center of Louisville. My consultation was so easy, and as it turned out, more affordable than ever imagined. Parsley Waldman help you get your hair back and your self-confidence back as well. That is hairsurgery.com. That's hairsurgery.com, and take the first step to being young again.
Hey, this is Steve Rummage, and I have one question for you. What good is having that beautiful home with that beautiful view if you can't see through the grit and grime of your windows? Or every time you try to open them, it feels like an extensive workout. Let's face it, you and your home deserve better. That's why I'm here to tell you about Windows Plus. They have the best free lifetime transferable warranty, best installation in town, quality products, doors, windows, siding, and gutters. They've also been voted most efficient in 2019 and have an A+ Better Business Bureau rating, including all 5-star reviews, which means they're exactly what you've been looking for. So go visit them at 11501 Plantside Drive in Louisville, Kentucky, or call 502-494-0120. Again, that's Windows Plus, so make the call.
Great job, Steve.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
At the DFH company, they know you got lucky last summer. You limped your AC unit to the finish line, but now it's time to face reality. You need a new system, so it's time to call DFH. Buy a complete Train system and get one of the following: either 12-month special financing, a free humidifier, a Wi-Fi controlled thermostat, or an air cleaner. It's hard to stop a Train, so call DFH at 968-6222 or look them up online at dfhcompany.com. Subject to credit approval, visit dfhcompany.com for complete details.
The weather may be warm, but that doesn't mean that it's going to be dry. So don't let rain give you an excuse to not work out. Take away any excuse making by visiting Fitness Market. It's a lot easier to hit the treadmill or elliptical when it's down the hall and not a drive to the gym away. I have a Precourt treadmill from Fitness Market, and I see firsthand why it's the gold standard. It's better quality than the ones I run on at the gym, and right now at Fitness Market, you can get a Precourt treadmill starting at $39 per month or an elliptical starting at $36 a month. And if you need to get a piece of equipment serviced, their service division, the Treadmill Medic, is what Chris and Pat Wider founded the business on 19 years ago. No matter what your exercise needs are, Fitness Market will have the selection you need, from treadmills, ellipticals, rowers, indoor bikes, weights, to even e-bikes. Besides Precourt, you can find brands like Matrix, Kaiser, Spirit, and Hoist. Visit Fitness Market on Westport Road just inside the Snyder, or Plantside Drive and Waterson Trail, or online at thefitnessmarket.com.
Are you ready to sell your home? Well, there couldn't be a better time. Houses are going for top dollar and selling quickly. You need to call Jill Blessinger with Keller Williams. She has a team of professionals that will help you sell your home quickly and get the most for it. She is a professional home stager and photographer. And when you're ready to buy, She works with Becky Bleemel of Caliber Home Loans. She makes the loan process very simple. And if you mention you heard this on Middays with Marcus Maben or ESPN, your appraisal is absolutely free. So give Jill a call today at 502-773-0546. That's 502-773-0546. And let her help you today.
UPS is currently hiring package handlers for its preload operation. Earn $13 an hour and receive up to $250 in weekly attendance bonuses while working up to a career as a package car driver. In as little as 6 months, you could have an opportunity to connect with customers and build lasting relationships in the community. Future you looks good in brown. Apply now at upsjobs.com or text Brown to 33588. That's Brown to 33588. It's a new era of Louisville football as the Cards get ready for their first season under Scott Satterfield, and ESPN Louisville will be there every step of the way. Join Mark Innes and Mark Blankenbaker as we broadcast live on July 17th and 18th from the 2019 ACC kickoff in Charlotte. We'll bring you the biggest names in the ACC and get you ready for another season of Cards football. Coverage of the ACC kickoff is presented by Class Act Federal Credit Union, UPS Jobs, and University of Louisville Online Learning.
The weather may be warm, but that doesn't mean that it's going to be dry. So don't let rain give you an excuse to not work out. Take away any excuse making by visiting Fitness Market. It's a lot easier to hit the treadmill or elliptical when it's down the hall and not a drive to the gym away. I have a Precourt treadmill from Fitness Market, and I see firsthand why it's the gold standard. It's better quality than the ones I run on at the gym, and right now at Fitness Market, you can get a Precourt treadmill starting at $39 per month or an elliptical starting at $36 a month. And if you need to get a piece of equipment serviced, their service division, the Treadmill Medic, is what Chris and Pat Wider founded the business on 19 years ago. No matter what your exercise needs are, Fitness Market will have the selection you need. From treadmills, ellipticals, rowers, indoor bikes, weights, to even e-bikes. Besides Precourt, you can find brands like Matrix, Kaiser, Spirit, and Hoist. Visit Fitness Market on Westport Road just inside the Snyder, or Plantside Drive and Watterson Trail, or online at thefitnessmarket.com.
We all have our mountains. The challenges that push us further. At Coors Light, our mountain is brewing the world's most refreshing beer. That's why all of our breweries cold lager, to give Coors Light its signature crisp taste. It's why we cold filter to ensure brilliance and clarity. And it's why we package cold to seal in Coors Light's refreshing flavor. Because we believe every climb deserves a refreshing finish. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Great beer, great responsibility.
This is Drew Diener, and you're listening to 93.9 The Ville, live from the OPC Services Studio.
Middays with Marcus Maben on 93.9 The Ville is broadcasting live from the OPC Pest Services Studio. Now, here's Marcus Maben and Steve Rummage.
Welcome back. Welcome back. It's Midday with Marcus Maben. 8150-939 is the number. 939 is the station. Steve.
Marcus.
When the conversation we had earlier, you know, the Mitch Barnhart is now the chair of the selection committee.
Right.
Steve says, I don't care because they can't affect, you know, when I have one of the best teams, they can't make it too tough, right? And then, you know, we kind of fast forwarded into the way I'm digesting a basketball season. But here's the thing. You kind of talked me off that cliff a little bit by saying, I've been the number one, hey, enjoy every second of this season because rarely do you have these type of teams.
Right.
Even if you think you're going to have them in the future, you know how it is, Steve. You never know. Like I said, you mess around and you can lose 3 dudes in a draft in a heartbeat.
Mm-hmm.
Strike out on 2 guys and suck.
Yes.
Next year.
I agree.
Like that can happen in a heartbeat. So I'm going to stop being get off my lawn guy with them having a good time, you know, wilding out, you know, just I'm gonna lay off the Forecastle trips and the scooter trips, and listen, if something happens, it just happens. But I'm gonna digest this season in a good way. But kind of a side transition. When I was talking about replenishing the cupboard, because you never know what can happen.
Sure.
You a fan of Mac Pegues, Gaudio, Peach Jam 2 tournament recruiting?
What do you mean as far as how they've set the rules up now?
Yeah, like now, like for people that don't know, this was a big recruiting weekend. Like as far as they have, what is it, Peach Jam, the tournament, just the tournaments have been consolidated where all the players are in a couple of tournaments.
Yeah.
And all the coaches are there. So it's like part of me has a little bit of, why don't coaches have to pick through the weeds anymore?
Yeah. I don't know that coaches love it. Like I don't think a lot of people
They don't love picking through the weeds.
I don't think a lot of people. No, they don't. I don't think a lot of people are big fans of the consolidated recruiting.
I'm listening.
Yeah, just I know that when you kind of hear a lot of the the Evan Daniels, those guys, they're very against it with how they've changed the rule where you have certain weeks. And because the NCAA only allows certain windows to do tournaments. Now that's why you're getting these more and more. So I mean, now as far as just the tournaments, they don't bother me. Like, that's just the progression of sports.
This is what it turns to. Big tournaments, recruit them out these tournaments, and
Yeah. No, I mean, that doesn't bother me. I mean, because, I'd like to pick through the weeds and all, but I also would like my guy to be able to go and say, okay, these guys can play. All right, these guys can.
Against the competition level.
Yeah. And then get back to coaching your top 5 team.
Well, speaking of picking through the weeds, it was a little comment that kind of, it was a tweet that I got, it was a comment on my wall.
Uh-huh.
Actually, it was along with the university kind of props thing I posted. Somebody kind of tweeted at me. I could feel some energy off that tweet. It was basically high school sports is getting swallowed up by Louisville-Kentucky rivalry, right? Mm-hmm. My first thought was no, it's not.
Yeah.
No, it's not. And it has nothing to do with a college, college influence. If anything, it's more of a direct connection because high schoolers can relate to local college players more than they can pro players. So if anything, between Louisville baseball and Louisville basketball and football, it's enough conversation to keep these kids crunk, right?
Yeah.
But I had to think about it. I do think about, any random tweet that I get. What's your opinion? Because I'll say mine first. With me, first thing first, what's your motivation? Like, why do you feel this way? What's your personal motivation? Do you feel like you were overlooked? Do you know somebody who you feel like is being overlooked? Do you feel like my coverage on the radio is not sufficient, Because here's the thing, and we like to say this. We like to say, hey, every coach knows if they hit one of us up, we'll get subjects up.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Like if you feeling
We've made it very clear. Yeah.
If you're feeling some kind of way in particular, and I'm not talking about like total self-promotion. I'm talking about tell me your team is good and the team you're about to play is really good. Mm-hmm. Tell me you want to inform us about something.
Yeah. There's big game. There's a reason. Yeah.
Right.
Tournament.
There's a high school
tournament. Yeah.
There's some changes that need to be made or don't need to be made, or something's in the rule books. We try to have this conversation. So where's the energy coming from that high school? I think that people need to take more ownership at every level.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's part of it. I think the other part is, and I know it's 11:44, so God knows I could start now and we could do a show and say, okay, we're just going to lead into Mark on this. But I think another part of it is with how it's ran, you're getting superstar
when you
players.
say how it's ran, like
traditionally, how with, and I'm not just going to throw the organization. Well, even just the Athletic Association under the bus here, but I'm just saying in general, when you have top players, that draws eyes. You know, if, for instance, I tweeted something out this weekend, and you know the story. I mean, with Zion Harmon.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to get into why, whatever, because that's a whole different ballgame. But just for whatever reason, they're not going to allow him to play at Marshall County this year. Wanted to play. That's out in the state. But Marshall County, if he's playing somebody who, because there is good talent around,
right?
And if he's playing, but he's a top 20 guy.
What do you mean, top, like year 20?
No, top 20 in the country in 2021.
And he wanted to play at Marshall County?
Yes. Like he was playing out in the state and he wanted to play, but again, there's more stuff to it,
right?
You know, but I think we should try to find more ways to get them eligible,
right?
Than to
find ways to find ways to investigate.
Because now he's probably going to be playing ball in another state, and you want eyes to high school games.
Yeah.
You need to keep, because you can't, here's the thing, you can't complain that these kids are leaving and going prep when you're doing nothing to help them stay here.
Right.
You know, I mean.
No, and again, I've said it, I'm sorry, I just got to throw this one and interject this one. When I went down to Bardstown and saw J.O.'s little boy and David Johnson, I mean, it was these high school gyms are like, when they're competitive, you know, when they're competitive. And I know, like, when I see DeJuan Wheat coaching, you know what I'm saying? I know that's pure, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But the I don't know, just stench on these high school athletes chases away the spectator.
It does. I mean, and even in the even out of the county, I mean, Bullitt Central, Bullitt East is a game that, I mean, they played this year. They don't even play every year anymore. The way it's redistricted,
see, now that's
they
disgusting.
don't even play.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, and look, and I'll be honest.
That's disgusting.
You know, you've had Derek Willis come through. You've had the Troutmans of all kind of went on. You've had a few people out of Bullitt Central that, I mean, you can go back in the 90s too and find some guys, you know, Kurt Greathouse, guys like that. But I understand, what I'm trying to say is I understand you maybe not having, okay, well, you know, on a year-to-year basis, well, this guy's going D1 and this guy, I understand
Yeah, but
that.
the game should win over that.
But they played this year, and it was, I mean, you're talking 4,000 people.
That's my point. The game there should be nothing that stops that game from happening.
No, absolutely.
Anything political that stops a Central or East or whatever, anything that stops that game from happening is political, and I can see why somebody said, you know what, I'm not putting my kid into that.
I know.
Like my kid's, you know, I grew up in this county, and my kid wants to be in that rivalry game. And then when he's a sophomore, he finds out they're not even going to play.
Yeah,
dude, we out.
I know,
because that was the game I was going to get the scouts here.
You go to the 5th region. I have a kid in our youth group who's really good. He'll play D1. Like he's that good at football. And he said, I said, well, what? Because I'm kind of getting. I was like, man, you know, I'm gonna check out some games down here this year. I said, what's few of the big? I said, what y'all? He plays at Central Hardin. I said, what's y'all's biggest rivalry? North. He's like, well, it has been. He said, but historically, he said, E-Town is the biggest rivalry. Central Hardin and E-Town are within miles of each other.
Right.
He said, we're going to play this year for the first time in like 8 years. And I'm like, what? Yeah, we don't play. Why? You know, like why? And that, so if you want, and the reason I'm saying that is if you want to make the argument that you say the colleges are overshadowing, well, no, I present that to you.
Yeah, but here's the thing. This is where you take ownership. This is where if you see somebody being taken off the schedule, and here's the thing, we're not like Drama King. We're not like, it's not Vlad TV. You know, like we're not going to try to instigate a beef. But you call in and say, hey, Marcus, this is what's going on.
Yeah.
Male just took Central off their schedule. You know, I know I'm just randomly, you know, throwing them out there.
Sure.
They took us off the schedule because of this, you know, and we want to set up a game. You know what I'm saying? Like, do you know what it's like if I say, okay, well, Mel, did you take Central off the schedule like that? say it on the air one good time. Say it on the air 3 times.
Yeah.
That's something legitimately, is that it's better for the high school game. That degree is better.
More.
Yeah.
So
I was gonna say that's
because I think
that's a Supreme Court issue. Though.
Yeah. I know that one's a little different because I'm like, you say, here's just the narrative I don't like. Okay. And there's no way to say this without it being, it is a little racial. I don't like when you say, yeah, but I mean, you go to some of these Jefferson County schools, none of the parents support, you know what I mean? Like, so it isn't like, and is what you're saying is the black community doesn't support their kids.
The high school,
like that, that's what you're saying. And I say, well, why would you not want to do a community because there are people, believe it or not, that can't make it. And you know what I'm saying? They can't go across town and can't do certain, like I don't know why we don't try to, break community up, if that makes sense, in terms for sports. That's one thing that always drives me crazy.
And it's like, yes, why.
Yeah, and then there's white people that deal with that too. I'm not saying like I'm not just putting on my black cape here. But that is what's the narrative is. I've grew up in Bullitt County. I mean, I know what the narrative is when you go play at Jefferson County School.
And we've had the conversation where I said, "Oh well," where Kevin said, "Yeah, I grew up on 41st and I went to Valley," and I'm like,
"Yeah, why?"
and look, and then. He's like, oh, my boy, he grew up on 44th and
went to
he went to Ballard, and I'm like, no, he couldn't have. You played with him, right? He's like, no.
There are a lot of gyms that are packed in Jefferson County too, so I also don't want to say
right.
I want somebody come back, hey man, we support. Yeah, I know.
But again, it's like anything else. Good scheduling, you know what I'm saying? Good scheduling leads to good, good support, good fair support.
Well, but the reason my point was saying that is, you want to know why there's 3,500 people there to watch Bullitt Central and Bullitt East? Why in Central Hardin and E-Town? Because I could run to Bullitt Central from my house, because the whole community comes. But
this conversation kind of started out being what's wrong with the high school.
I think that's a big part of it.
Okay, so you stand the location.
So when you go there, if you're truthfully trying, if somebody is texting you saying the colleges are hurting the schools, then my only thing is I'm just presenting reasons why the high school system itself, and I understand that the KHSAA doesn't fully have control of where they go to school.
Yeah, districting.
That's kind of a public school thing.
Again, there's Supreme Court issues on that.
Yeah,
that
right.
You can't even
Sure. So, but between the schools not playing that are in close proximity to each other, between like Bullitt Central, Bullitt East are even in the same district. Somebody says, Texter says, like when Atherton doesn't play Shawnee.
That can't happen.
This stuff just can't happen, man.
I get that. See, and I think that's more of things you can fix immediately.
But I do also think that you should make it in a way players want to stay here.
Yeah,
I understand. And
that's where it starts.
Some kids are just going to they're going to go to prep school.
Yeah,
and they want
just eligibility problems.
Yeah,
or eligibility bullying.
Yes,
I feel like that. I feel like that probably is the biggest undertone of as the outsider coming in. I think there's been eligibility bullying going on for too long.
But that one is not going to change until let me watch how I word this. Until, I don't want to say a generation dies off, because that's not what I mean. That's terrible.
That's the terrible way to.
But until. Yeah, I told Phil Baker in the back when we were having this conversation, I said, Phil, until me and you are running it, and what I meant was not me and you particular.
Somebody who sees the problems.
But until we are the representation of what's running it, it won't change.
Steve Tyree.
Maybe I will run it one day. And that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. If so, but yeah, there's a lot of
and we hate going so hot at the end of the show. because that's a hot one.
Like I said, I could do a whole show on that.
The point was, that question was kind of weighing on me because I know some things you can address directly and instantly and assertively, and some things it's like it would take 10 years in a legal system to change that. But the things you can change are like just a little social public pressure and a little bit of don't let the kids get bullied out of their eligibility.
But if that is a true concern for that person, like I get it, because there's good ball play here in this, in the state. So I feel
and again, you can't get the coaches into the schools that won't play each other in high level competition.
Yeah,
it's a fact. I'm not going to that game. Like, you might be an awesome player, but if you're not going to play anybody, go to Peace Jam.
Yeah.
And you're going to be mad because the coach is local and he's not showing up at that game.
And Texter, they talked about you need a facility in different areas. I can do another show about that. So I'm with you.
Our lines are always open. Our social media is always open. Our Made for the Ville YouTube channel is always open. HexHeadArt.com is always open. What's the name of it, Steve?
HexHead Art.
Windows
you better be
Plus.
getting me and Steve those pieces next week.
Right.
Cool. Yeah, about that. Middays with Marcus Maven on 939 The Ville.